Stop right now, my child. Do not scroll past this moment. Do not treat this as just another message, because it is not. This is not random. This is not coincidence. God sends you this answer, and you were led here because I showed your face and called your name before you even realized why you stopped here. I have interrupted your day on purpose. I have stepped into your moment because what you are carrying has reached a place where silence is no longer acceptable. I know exactly what you were thinking just before this. I know the weight that has been sitting quietly in your chest. I know how many times you have tried to push it down, ignore it, distract yourself from it. But you could not escape it, could you? That heaviness followed you into your quiet moments, into your night, into your thoughts when no one else was around. And now I am here, speaking directly to you, not generally, not vaguely, but personally, because you are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are not lost in the crowd. I have called you into this moment because I know what your soul has been asking, even when your mouth could not form the words. I searched for you today because what you are carrying has reached heaven, and I could not remain silent anymore. Do you understand that? This was not initiated by you. This was initiated by me. You did not find this message by accident. I found you. I located you in the middle of your thoughts, in the middle of your confusion, in the middle of your quiet struggle, and I brought you here because your heart has been speaking louder than you realize. You have been holding things inside that you did not even know how to release. You have been carrying emotions that you could not explain to anyone because you feared they would not understand. But I understand completely. I understand the pressure you feel. I understand the tiredness you hide. I understand the questions you keep repeating in your mind. And because I understand, I refuse to let another moment pass without speaking directly into your life. Do not skip this message, because the answer you cried for last night is hidden in what I am about to say. Yes, I saw last night. I saw everything. I saw the moment when your thoughts became too loud to ignore. I saw when your heart felt overwhelmed and you did not know where to place the weight you were carrying. I saw when you looked ahead and felt uncertain about what is coming next. I saw when your strength felt smaller than your situation. And I saw when you asked silently, even if you did not say it clearly, "What do I do now?" That question reached me. That moment reached me. And now I am answering you. But you must stay. You must not walk away from this, because if you leave too early, you will miss the very part that your spirit has been waiting to hear. This is not just words. This is direction. This is confirmation. This is the response to something you thought was unheard. The tears you thought nobody saw were the reason I am speaking to you right now. Every tear matters to me. Every moment of pain matters to me. You may have wiped your face quickly. You may have hidden your emotions from people around you. You may have convinced others that you were okay. But you could not hide from me. I saw every tear fall. I saw every moment when your eyes filled and you tried to hold it back. I saw when you sat in silence because you did not have the energy to explain what you were feeling. I saw when your heart felt heavy for reasons you could not fully explain. And I want you to understand this clearly: your pain did not go unnoticed. It did not disappear into emptiness. It reached me. It moved me. And it is one of the reasons I am speaking to you now with urgency, with clarity, and with love that has never left you. What you are carrying was never meant to break you, it was meant to reveal what I placed inside you. I know it does not feel like that. I know it feels heavy. I know it feels confusing. I know it feels like too much at times. But you are not being destroyed. You are being revealed. There is something inside you that even you have not fully seen yet. There is strength inside you that has not fully surfaced. There is endurance inside you that is stronger than you realize. And everything you have been carrying has been pressing against you, not to crush you, but to reveal what has been hidden within you all along. You thought you were falling apart, but you were actually being shaped. You thought you were losing yourself, but you were actually discovering a deeper part of who you are. I am moving right now, even as you listen, and something has already shifted in your life. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it fully yet. But movement has already begun. This is not something that will happen later. This is already happening. There are things aligning right now that you cannot yet see. There are changes unfolding that have already started. Your answers forming that are already on their way. Do not measure what I am doing only by what you can see in this moment, because much of what I do begins before it becomes visible. You are standing at the edge of a shift, and even though everything around you may look the same, something inside your life has already begun to change. The storm you cried in last night is already ending, even if your eyes have not seen it yet. I know how real that storm felt. I know how intense it felt. I know how overwhelming it became. But storms do not last forever. And this one is already losing its power. The weight that felt so strong is already beginning to lift. The confusion that felt so loud is already beginning to quiet down. The pressure that felt so heavy is already starting to break. You may still feel the after effects, but the storm itself is not as strong as it was. Something has shifted. Something has changed you. And you are closer to calm than you realize right now. Comment, I know God is fighting for me right now if the battle feels too heavy to carry. I did not forget you. I planted your name in my heart before you took your first breath. Before you were aware of yourself, I was already aware of you. Before you faced your first challenge, I had already seen your entire life. Before you cried your first tear, I had already prepared ways to carry you through every moment that would try to overwhelm you. You are not an afterthought. You are not someone I noticed late. You have always been known. You have always been seen. You have always been carried in my awareness. Even when you felt forgotten, you were not forgotten. Even when it felt like nothing was happening, I was still watching, still guiding, still protecting, still preparing. There is something I am about to open for you that will silence those who doubted you, but you must stay to hear it. Not everything that is about to happen in your life will be explained to others. Not everyone will understand what I am doing in you. But there is a door, a shift, a moment that is coming that will speak louder than anything you could ever say. You do not need to prove yourself. You do not need to explain yourself. What I am about to do will speak for you. And those who doubted, those who questioned, those who misunderstood, they will not have words when they see what unfolds in your life. But you must stay. You must listen. You must receive what I am saying, because this is the preparation before that moment arrives. Stand up, my child. This is the moment your season begins to change. I know you feel tired. I know you feel uncertain. I know you feel like sitting down and staying where you are because moving forward feels difficult. But I am calling you to stand not in your strength, but in mine. This is not the end of your story. This is not where it stops. This is the beginning of something new. This is the turning point. This is the moment where what you have been carrying begins to shift, where what you have been feeling begins to change, where what you have been waiting for begins to move toward you. Stand up, not because everything is already perfect, but because something has already begun. And I am with you in this moment, leading you into what comes next. My child, listen carefully now, because what I am about to tell you is something your heart needs to receive slowly, deeply, and without doubt. This moment you are in right now is not random. It is not accidental. It is not something you just stumbled upon without purpose. I called you here. I brought you to this exact point in time because I saw you, and I chose to speak to you now. Before your eyes reached these words, my eyes were already on you. Before your thoughts began to wonder why you paused here, I had already decided that this would be the moment I would reach into your life and speak directly to your spirit. You are not just another listener. You are not just part of a crowd. You are the one I am addressing right now, and I need you to understand that this encounter was arranged with intention. I saw your face, my child. I saw you in the quiet moment when your thoughts were not at rest. I saw you when your mind was searching for something it could not fully name. I saw you when your heart felt heavier than you wanted to admit. And I did not pass by you. I did not ignore you. I did not delay. I came to you. I called you into this moment because I know exactly what you are carrying, and I know that you need to hear my voice right now. You may have thought you were just scrolling, just passing time, just moving through another ordinary moment, but this is not ordinary. This is a meeting. This is a moment I prepared before you even realized you needed it. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us via given link in description or pinned comment to show your support. There are no accidents with me. Nothing about your life is happening outside of my awareness. Every step you take, every thought you carry, every question that rises in your heart, I see it all. And because I see it all, I knew the exact moment when you would be ready to hear this. I knew the exact moment when your heart would be open enough, even if only slightly, to receive what I am about to say. That is why you are here now. Not because you planned it, but because I did. Not because you searched for me, but because I reached for you first. You may wonder, why me? Why now? And I want you to hear this clearly, because you matter to me more than you realize. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible in a world full of people. I know your name. I know your story. I know the parts of you that nobody else sees. And I care about every detail of your life, even the ones you think are too small or too insignificant to matter. When you feel like just another person in a crowd, I want you to remember this moment and understand that I see you individually, personally, completely. I did not speak this message into the world hoping it would reach someone. I directed it specifically toward you because I knew you would be the one to receive it. This is not coincidence. This is connection. This is not chance. This is intention. There are many things in your life that may feel uncertain, many things that may seem unclear or confusing, but this moment is not one of them. This moment is clear. This moment is deliberate. This moment is my voice reaching into your life with purpose. You may not understand everything yet. You may not see the full picture, but you do not need to understand everything right now. What you need to understand is that I am here, speaking to you, calling you, and reminding you that you are not alone in what you are facing. I know there have been times when you felt unseen. I know there have been moments when you questioned whether anyone truly understood what you were going through. I know there have been days when you wondered if your life was just moving forward without direction or meaning. But hear me now, nothing about your life is without purpose. Nothing about your journey is unnoticed. Even the moments that felt empty, even the days that felt ordinary, even the struggles that felt pointless, they are all part of something I see clearly, even when you do not. You did not arrive here by mistake. You were led here. I guided your steps in ways you did not even notice. I allowed your attention to pause at this exact point because I knew this is where you needed to hear my voice. I know how your mind works. I know how easily you can move from one thing to another, how quickly your attention can shift. And yet, you are still here, reading this, listening to this. That is not random. That is not chance. That is me holding your attention long enough to speak something into your life that you need to hear. My child, I want you to feel the weight of this truth not as something heavy, but as something grounding, something real. You are known. You are seen. You are chosen in this moment to receive what I am about to say. Out of all the noise, out of all the distractions, out of everything that could have taken your attention away, you are here. And I am speaking. That is not something to ignore. That is something to receive. I saw your face, and I called your name. Not in a distant way, not in a general way, but in a personal way. I know what you look like when you are strong, and I know what you look like when you are tired. I know how you carry yourself when others are watching, and I know how you feel when you are alone. I know your expressions, your thoughts, your struggles, your quiet moments, your hidden questions. And still, I chose you for this moment. Not because you are perfect, not because you have everything figured out, but because you are mine. This is an intentional encounter. This is a moment where heaven touches your present reality. You may not feel anything dramatic right now. You may not see anything changing instantly around you. But something important is happening. Something is shifting inside you as you hear these words. Something is being planted. Something is being awakened. Something is being stirred that will not leave you the same as before. You may not fully understand it yet, but you will begin to see it as you continue. Do not dismiss this moment. Do not reduce it to something ordinary. What I am doing right now is personal. I am reaching into your life with purpose. I am calling your attention back to me. I am reminding you that you are not walking through your life alone. I am here. I have always been here, and I am speaking now because this is the moment you needed to hear me most. So stay with me, my child. Stay present in this moment. Do not let your mind drift away. Do not let distraction pull you away from what I am saying. This is for you. Every word is for you. Every sentence is reaching toward you. Because you are not here by accident. You are here because I called you, I saw you, and I chose this moment to speak into your life in a way that you cannot ignore. My child, come closer in your heart and listen to me without rushing, because I want to take you back to that night, the one you tried to move past, the one you did not fully speak about, the one that stayed inside you long after everything around you became quiet. I saw that night completely. I did not see it from a distance. I did not notice it later. I was there in the very moment it unfolded, in the exact place where your emotions became too heavy to carry silently anymore. You may think it was just another night, just another moment of weakness, just another time when you felt overwhelmed, but to me, It was deeply important because it revealed what your heart has been holding for far too long. I saw when everything around you became still, yet inside you nothing felt calm. I saw when the noise of the day ended, but the noise inside your thoughts grew louder. You tried to distract yourself at first. You tried to keep your mind busy. You tried to move from one thought to another, hoping something would quiet the weight you were feeling. But it did not go away. It stayed. It followed you into the silence. It sat with you when there was nothing left to distract you. And slowly, that weight began to press deeper into your heart. I saw the moment when your breathing changed slightly, when your chest felt heavier, when your thoughts stopped being manageable and started becoming overwhelming. You did not announce it. You did not call anyone. You did not make it known. But I saw it clearly. I saw when your eyes began to fill, even if you tried to hold it back. I saw when you looked away, when you wiped your face quickly, when you told yourself to stay strong for just a little longer. But strength was already fading, and you knew it. God's plan is always greater if you've released your own plans into His hands. There were tears that came quietly, without sound, without attention, without anyone noticing. You did not cry loudly. You did not cry for someone to hear. You cried because you could not hold it in anymore. Those tears were not weak. Those tears were the release of everything you had been carrying in silence. I saw every single one of them. Not one tear fell unnoticed. Not one moment passed without my awareness. While you thought you were alone in that room, you were not alone. I was there, closer than you realized, watching you, understanding you, feeling the depth of what you were going through. Your thoughts were restless that night. They did not stay in one place. I knew who they, from one worry to another, from one memory to another, from one fear to another. You tried to make sense of things. You tried to understand why certain things happened the way they did. You questioned yourself. You questioned your decisions. You questioned what is coming next. You wondered if things will ever change. You wondered if this feeling will ever leave. You wondered if you are strong enough to keep going. And even when you did not say these questions out loud, I heard every single one of them. There was a heaviness in your heart that you could not fully explain. It was not just one problem. It was not just one situation. It was many things combined: past pain, present pressure, future uncertainty. All of it gathered together in that moment, and it became too much to carry quietly. You felt it deeply. You felt it in your chest, in your thoughts, in your silence. And for a moment, you did not know what to do with it. You just sat there, holding it, feeling it, trying to endure it. You felt unseen in that moment. You felt like nobody truly understood what you were going through. Even if people were around you earlier, even if you spoke to someone during the day, that night felt different. That night felt like your reality was something only you could feel. You may have wondered if anyone would even understand if you tried to explain it. So you stayed silent. You kept it inside. You carried it alone. But hear me now, you were not unseen. You were not unheard. I was there, and I saw everything with complete clarity. I saw the exact moment when your strength felt like it was slipping. I saw when you stopped trying to hold everything together and simply sat in your emotions. I saw when your thoughts slowed down, not because they were resolved, but because you were too tired to keep processing them. I saw when you just wanted peace, even if only for a moment. I saw when you closed your eyes, hoping that rest would come, but your mind would not quiet down easily. There were words you wanted to say, but you did not say them. There were feelings you wanted to express, but you did not know how to express them. There were questions you wanted to ask, but you were not sure how to ask them. But I understood all of it. I understood what you could not explain. I understood what you could not put into words. I understood the depth of your silence. My child, I want you to know something that must settle deeply inside you. You were never alone in that night. Not for a single moment. When you felt like no one was there, I was there. When you felt like your voice was not heard, I heard you. When you felt like your pain was hidden, I saw it fully. I did not turn away. I did not ignore you. I did not wait for you to become stronger before coming near. I was already there, present in your weakness, present in your tears, present in your silence. Even when you did not call out to me clearly, I was listening. Even when your prayer was not spoken, I understood it. Even when all you could offer was a tired breath and a heavy heart, I received it. You do not need perfect words for me to hear you. You do not need to explain everything for me to understand you. I know your heart completely. That night was not meaningless. It was not just pain without purpose. It revealed something real. It showed how much you have been carrying. It showed how deeply you have been trying to hold everything together. And it also showed that you have reached a point where something needs to change. Not because you are failing, but because you have been carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. I was there when your tears fell, and I am here now as you remember that moment. I have not moved away. I have not stepped back. I have not forgotten. That night did not push me away from you. It drew my attention closer to you. It became a moment where I leaned in, where I listened more closely, where I prepared to respond to what your heart was going through. So do not think that what you felt was invisible. Do not think that your pain was unnoticed. Do not think that your silence meant absence. I saw everything. I heard everything. I understood everything. And I am speaking to you now because that night mattered. It mattered to you, and it mattered to me. And what I am about to do next in your life is connected to what you felt in that moment. My child, I know what you are carrying feels heavy, and I know there were moments when you truly believed it was too much for you, too confusing, too painful, too overwhelming to hold any longer. I know there were times when you questioned whether this weight was breaking you piece by piece, slowly taking away your strength, your clarity, your peace. But I need you to hear me clearly now, and I need you to receive this truth without pushing it away. What you are carrying was never meant to destroy you. It was never meant to end you. It was never meant to reduce you to nothing. What you are carrying is not your destruction. It is your preparation, even if it does not feel like it yet. You have been looking at your pain as something that is happening against you, something that is working to pull you down, something that is meant to weaken you. And yes, I know it feels like that. I know it feels like it has taken more from you than it has given. I know it feels like it has left you more tired than strong. But there is something deeper happening that you have not fully seen yet. This weight you feel, this pressure you are under, this emotional load you have been carrying, it is shaping something inside you that could not have been formed any other way. It is building something within you that you cannot yet fully recognize because you are still inside the process. The pain you feel is not meaningless. It is not random. It is not without purpose. Every moment of pressure, every tear, every heavy thought, every silent struggle, it is all doing something beneath the surface. You may not see it yet, but something inside you is becoming stronger, deeper, more resilient than before. You are being stretched in ways that feel uncomfortable, but that stretching is making room for something greater to grow within you. I know there were moments when you felt like you were falling apart, when your emotions felt unstable, when your thoughts felt scattered, when your heart felt too heavy to hold everything together. But what you called falling apart was not the end of you. It was the breaking of what could not carry you forward. It was the release of what could not remain. It was the beginning of something new forming inside you, even though it did not look like strength at the time. Strength does not always look like standing tall and feeling confident. Sometimes strength is formed in the quiet moments when you are still standing, even when you feel weak. Sometimes strength is built in the nights when you are still breathing through the weight, even when everything feels heavy. Sometimes strength is hidden inside your endurance, inside your ability to keep going even when you do not feel strong at all. And my child, you have been stronger than you realize. There are parts of you that are developing right now that you cannot yet see clearly. There is patience growing inside you. There is endurance forming within you. There is depth being built in your understanding. There is a strength in your spirit that is becoming more steady, more grounded, more real. You are not the same person you were before this season began. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel uncertain, something inside you has changed. Something inside you has grown. I want you to understand this in a deeper way. What you are carrying is not just weight. It is also training. It is teaching you how to stand in moments that once would have caused you to fall. It is teaching you how to think differently, how to respond differently, how to endure in ways you did not know you could. It is teaching you how to hold on, even when things are not clear. It is teaching you how to move forward, even when you do not feel fully ready. There are hidden places inside you where strength is forming quietly. You may not notice it in your daily life. You may not feel it in every moment, but it is there. It is growing in the way you handle things now compared to before. It is growing in the way you process your thoughts. It is growing in the way you carry yourself through difficulty. It is growing in the way you continue even when things are not easy. I know it has not been comfortable. I know it has not been easy. I know there were times when you wished this would all just stop, when you wanted relief more than anything else. And I understand that. I do not ignore your desire for peace. I do not ignore your need for rest. But I also see what this season is producing in you, and it is something valuable, something necessary, something that will matter more than you realize right now. You are not being crushed. You are being strengthened. You are not being destroyed. You are being shaped. You are not losing yourself. You are becoming someone deeper, someone stronger, someone more prepared for what is ahead. Even if you do not feel ready yet, even if you do not feel strong yet, even if you do not fully understand what is happening, I need you to trust that something good is forming inside you. Do not measure your progress only by how you feel in this moment. Feelings change. They rise and fall. But what is being built inside you is not temporary. It is lasting. It is becoming part of who you are. It is preparing you for what comes next. It is giving you a foundation that will not break easily when new challenges come. There is a reason you have not been completely broken by what you have faced. There is a reason you are still here. There is a reason you are still able to move forward, even if slowly. The reason is because what is inside you is stronger than what is pressing against you, and I have placed that strength inside you. So do not look at your pain as your end. Do not see it as your defeat. Do not believe that it has taken more from you than it has given. There is something forming in you that you will understand more clearly as time goes on. There is something being prepared inside you that will make sense later, even if it does not make sense now. What you are carrying was never meant to break you. It was meant to reveal you. It was meant to uncover strength you did not know you had. It was meant to bring forward something that was hidden inside you all along. And even now, as you listen, as you breathe, as you process these words, that strength is still growing. Stay with me, my child. Do not give up on yourself. Do not assume that this wait means the end. It does not. It means something is being prepared. It means something is being built. It means something is forming that will matter in ways you cannot yet fully see. And I am with you in every part of this process, guiding you, holding you, and strengthening you even when you do not feel it. My child, there was a moment when you came closer to giving up than you have ever admitted, even to yourself. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. It did not look like a clear decision on the outside. But inside, something shifted. Something grew tired in a deeper way than before. Something inside you stopped pushing the same way it used to. You reached a place where continuing felt heavier than stopping, where hoping felt riskier than expecting nothing, where trying again felt like opening yourself to more pain. And in that quiet moment, you stood at a breaking point that nobody else could see. I saw that moment clearly. I saw when your motivation faded, not because you are weak, but because you had been strong for too long without rest. I saw when the things that once gave you energy no longer moved you the same way. I saw when even small tasks felt heavier than usual because your heart was already carrying too much. You tried to keep going. You tried to stay consistent. You tried to act like everything was still under control, but inside, your strength had already begun to thin out. You were not lazy. You were not careless. You were exhausted in ways that went deeper than your body, and I understood that fully. There were moments when your hope began to slip quietly. Not all at once, but little by little. You stopped imagining things changing. You stopped expecting good outcomes the way you once did. You stopped speaking certain desires aloud because part of you no longer believed they would come to pass. You told yourself to be realistic, to not expect too much, to protect your heart from more disappointment. And slowly, hope became something you held at a distance instead of something you lived inside. I saw that shift. I saw when your heart began to guard itself, not because it wanted to give up completely, but because it did not want to be hurt again. Your clarity also faded in that season. Things that once felt simple became confusing. Decisions that once felt clear became uncertain. You questioned yourself more. You second-guessed your thoughts. You wondered if you were making the right choices or if you were just moving without direction. Your mind felt crowded. Your thoughts felt heavy. And sometimes you just wanted everything to become quiet again. But even in that confusion, I was present. I was watching closely. I was guiding in ways you could not yet recognize. My child, I know there was a moment when you almost stopped trying altogether. A moment when you thought, maybe I should just let things be. Maybe nothing will change. Maybe this is just how it is. That thought did not come from weakness, it came from fatigue. It came from carrying too much for too long without seeing the change you hoped for. It came from feeling like your efforts were not producing the results you expected. And in that moment, you stood on the edge of giving up, not loudly, not openly, but quietly, within your own thoughts. But here is what you did not see. I intervened in that moment. You may not have felt it. You may not have recognized it. But I stepped in where you could not stand any longer. I held you when your strength dropped. I steadied your thoughts when they began to slip too far. I kept you from falling into a place that would have been harder to come back from. There were thoughts that could have taken deeper root, but I did not allow them to stay. There were emotions that could have overwhelmed you completely, but I softened their impact. There were paths you could have taken in that moment of weakness, but I redirected you without you even realizing it. You thought you were barely holding on, but I was the one holding you. There were unseen moments where your mind came close to darker conclusions, but something inside you pulled back. That was not accidental. That was me. There were moments when you felt like shutting everything down, but something kept you moving, even if slowly. That was me. There were times when you felt like isolating completely, but something kept a small connection alive. That was me. You were not as alone in that moment as you believed. Right, you are my hiding place, God, if He's your refuge and safe shelter. And share this video, my child. Stop right now. Do not scroll, do not move, because what is about to happen will move faster than you are ready for. I am speaking to you in this exact second because this moment cannot be delayed any longer. You have been waiting, wondering, questioning, trying to understand why things have remained still for so long, but what you do not yet see is that the stillness has reached its limit. Something is breaking open now, and it will not wait for you to feel prepared. It will not wait for you to fully understand. It will begin whether you are ready or not, and that is why I need your full attention right now. It will happen so fast, you will not have time to understand it before it begins. What you thought would take time, what you thought would come slowly, what you imagined would unfold step by step, it will not happen that way. I am moving in a way that will surprise you, in a way that will catch you off guard, in a way that will make you pause and realize that this could only have been done by me. The delay you experienced was not because nothing was happening. The delay was because everything was being aligned for one moment of release, and that moment has now arrived. Do not think this is random. Do not think you simply found this message by chance. I stopped you here. I brought you to this exact point because I know how close you are to what you have been waiting for. I know how your heart has been feeling lately. I know how tired you have been of waiting without answers. I know how many times you told yourself to stop expecting anything because it felt safer than hoping again. But even when you tried to let go, I did not let go of what I promised you. I marked this moment long before you reached it, and now you are standing inside it without even realizing how close you are to the shift. Time is up. The waiting you knew is ending now. The season where nothing seemed to move, where everything felt delayed, where answers stayed silent, that season is closing. You are not about to wait the way you did before. You are not about to struggle the same way. You are not about to question the same things. What is coming will not look like what you have been through. It will not move slowly. It will not test your patience the same way. It will come with speed, with clarity, with undeniable movement that you will not be able to ignore. This is my final call. Do not delay. Do not ignore this moment. There are moments in your life that carry more weight than others. Moments where what you do next matters more than you understand. and this is one of those moments. I am not asking you to wait again. I am asking you to respond. I am asking you to listen. I am asking you to stay present with what I am saying, because this is not something to come back to later. This is not something to push aside and revisit when you feel more ready. This is happening now, and your awareness of it matters. Your name is sealed in this blessing. I chose you before this moment arrived. Before you ever questioned your path, before you ever doubted whether something good would happen for you, I had already written your name into what I am about to release. This is not for someone else. This is not something you have to compete for. This is not something you have to prove yourself worthy of at this point. I already chose you. I've already decided that this would reach you, and nothing that happened in your past has changed that decision. Something is already moving without warning while you are listening. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it fully yet. But there is movement happening right now beyond your awareness. There are things shifting into place. There are answers forming. There are changes beginning that will soon become visible to you. This is not a future promise waiting to start. It has already started. The moment you are in is not empty. It is active. It is unfolding even as you hear these words. You prayed, you waited, you almost gave up, but I marked this moment for you. I saw every time you tried to stay strong when nothing changed. I saw every moment you questioned whether your prayers were heard. I saw every time you felt like stepping back because the waiting felt too heavy. And even when you came close to giving up, I held this moment in place for you. I did not allow your story to end in that waiting. I did not allow your journey to stay in that uncertainty. I carried you through it, even when you did not realize it, so you could arrive here. What I release cannot be stopped, delayed, or reversed by anyone. No person has the authority to block what I have already decided. No past mistake has the power to cancel what I have already spoken. No delay has the strength to hold back what I am now releasing. When I move, everything that stood in the way must shift. Everything that resisted must step aside. Everything that looked permanent must change. What I am bringing into your life will not ask for permission from anything that tried to stop you before. So now I am telling you clearly, open your hands, because what is already yours is about to arrive. Stop holding on to fear. Stop holding on to doubt. Stop holding on to the belief that nothing will change. You cannot receive what is coming if you are still holding on to what told you it would never happen. Let go. Open yourself. Be ready, not by understanding everything, but by trusting that what I am doing is already in motion. Say, I stand boldly in faith if you're claiming every promise He has spoken over your life. Common Jesus is more than enough for me if He fills every empty space in your soul. And stay here, my child. Do not move away from this moment, because what I reveal next will explain why everything is about to change suddenly. My child, the reason everything is about to happen suddenly is not because it was created suddenly, but because it hath been prepared in silence for longer than you realize. What feels fast to you now is the result of what has been building slowly where you could not see it. You measured your life by what looked still, by what felt delayed, by what refused to move when you expected it to, and because of that, you believed that nothing was happening. But I was never inactive in your waiting. I was never still in your silence. I was working in ways your eyes could not follow, aligning things your mind could not yet understand, preparing moments that required precision, not speed. You must understand this clearly. Sudden change is often the visible result of long, hidden preparation. What appears in one moment has usually been forming across many moments you thought were empty. The reason it will feel shocking to you is because you did not see the process. You only saw the pause. You only felt the delay. You only experienced the silence. But behind that silence, movement was already unfolding step by step. There were things I had to arrange that could not happen openly. There were details that required time. There were alignments that needed to be exact. There were people who needed to move, situations that needed to shift, conditions that needed to form correctly before what belongs to you could arrive safely. If I had moved it too early, it would have been incomplete. If I had moved it too quickly, it would not have lasted. So I allowed the delay, not to hold you back, but to build something strong enough to stand when it reached you. The delay you experienced was not wasted time. It was construction time. When you were waiting, I was preparing. While you were questioning, I was arranging. While you were feeling like nothing was changing, I was putting pieces together in ways you could not see. That is why now, when everything begins to move, it will not move slowly. It will move all at once, because the preparation has already been completed. Think of it this way, my child. The door does not open gradually once the lock is removed. The moment the lock is released, the door can open instantly. And what you are about to experience is the release of what has been holding things in place. The resistance that once slowed you is reaching its limit. The waiting that once defined your season is ending. The silence that once surrounded you is about to be replaced with movement. This is why it will feel sudden, because you will not see the steps that led to it. You will only see the result. You will only feel the shift. You will only recognize that something that refused to move for so long is now moving without resistance. Long delay creates instant shift. This is the pattern you are stepping into. The longer something has been held back, the more powerful its release becomes when the moment finally arrives. The weight of the delay gathers strength, and when it is released, it does not trickle forward. It moves with force. It moves with speed. It moves in a way that makes up for what seemed like lost time. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us via given link in description or pinned comment to show your support. You have been standing in a season where things felt stretched out, where time felt slow, where progress felt minimal. But that stretching has reached its end. What was extended is now being compressed. What took long to prepare will not take long to appear. What felt like distance will suddenly feel close. What felt impossible will suddenly feel real. This is not because everything is starting now. It is because everything is finishing its preparation now. And when preparation finishes, manifestation does not need to wait. This is why I am telling you to be ready, not by understanding everything, but by accepting that suddenness is not chaos. It is completion. It is the moment when what hath been built in silence finally steps into visibility. It is the moment when what hath been hidden is revealed. It is the moment when what you thought was delayed shows you that it was never delayed, only prepared. There were many times you believed that if something was meant for you, it would have happened already. You thought timing had passed. You thought opportunities had expired. You thought doors had closed permanently. But you were measuring by visible time, not by divine timing. And divine timing does not follow your expectations. It follows completion. I do not release things when you feel ready. I release them when they are ready. And now, they are ready. That is why everything is about to move at once. That is why what felt impossible before will suddenly feel natural. That is why what you waited for will arrive in a way that surprises you. Because the preparation is no longer incomplete. It is finished. And finished preparation creates immediate movement. You may ask yourself, why did it take so long just to happen so fast? Because the depth of what I prepared required time, but the release of it requires only a moment. You could not see the layers being formed. You could not see the timing being aligned. You could not see the resistance being removed step by step. But now that those layers are complete, nothing else needs to delay the release. This is why suddenness is not randomness. It is precision reaching its final point. Everything is aligning at once because it has been built to align at once. Everything is moving at once because it has been prepared to move together. Everything is changing at once because it has reached the moment where change can no longer be held back. And my child, you are standing in that moment now. You are no longer in the stage where things are being built quietly. You are entering the stage where things begin to appear openly. You are no longer in the season where nothing seems to move. You are stepping into the season where everything begins to move. That is why I told you it will happen so fast. Not because it is being rushed, but because it is being released. And once I release what has been prepared, nothing slows it down. Nothing delays it. Nothing reverses it. You may feel unprepared for how quickly things begin to change, but understand this. You have already been prepared through everything you went through. The waiting strengthened you. The silence deepened you. The delay shaped you. Even though you did not recognize it at the time, everything you experienced was part of getting you ready for a moment that would not unfold slowly. You are ready, even if you do not feel like it. You are prepared, even if you do not fully understand it. Because I would not release something into your life that you are not able to receive. So when it begins, do not question it. Do not hesitate. Do not step back. Recognize it. Accept it. Because what is about to happen suddenly hath been in preparation far longer than you know. My child, this is the moment I have been preparing you for, and I need you to understand the weight of what I am saying now, because this is not like the other moments you have passed through. There are times in your life where you can wait, where you can pause, where you can delay your response and still return later, but this is not one of those times. This is a defining moment, a turning point that separates what has been from what is about to begin, and you must not treat it lightly. I am calling you with urgency because what is unfolding does not wait for hesitation, and what I am releasing does not remain open for those who choose delay over trust. You have waited long enough. You have questioned long enough. You have stood in uncertainty long enough, and now the time has come for movement, not delay. I know your heart has learned caution. I know you have been disappointed before, and that disappointment taught you to step carefully, to hold back, to not move too quickly when something feels important. You learn to protect yourself by slowing down your response, by waiting for clearer signs, by asking for more proof before fully stepping forward. But what I am telling you now cannot be approached with the same hesitation you learned in your past. This is not a moment that requires you to hold back. This is not a moment where you wait for everything to make sense before you move. This is a moment where trust must be immediate, where your spirit must respond before your doubts try to speak again. Because if you allow delay to take control, you will begin to miss what is already opening in front of you. This is why I call it your final call. Not because I will stop speaking to you, but because this moment itself will not repeat in the same way. There are windows in your life that open with divine timing, and once they pass, they do not return in the same form. Opportunities may come again, but they will not carry the same arrangement, the same alignment, the same preparation that exists right now. This moment hath been marked with intention. It has been set in place with precision. It carries a specific weight that belongs to this exact time, and if you hesitate, if you treat it as something you can return to later, you risk stepping out of alignment with what I have already prepared for you. You must understand, my child, that delay is not always harmless. Sometimes delay is what keeps a person standing outside of what was already meant to be theirs. Sometimes delay allows doubt to grow stronger than trust. Sometimes delay causes you to overthink what I have already made clear. I have seen how your mind works when you give it too much time. I have seen how quickly questions begin to multiply, how quickly fear begins to speak, how quickly you begin to step back from what you once felt strongly about. That is why I am speaking with urgency now. I am not asking you to analyze this moment. I am asking you to recognize it. There is something within you that already knows this is different. You feel it in the way your attention has been held here. You feel it in the way these words are reaching deeper than ordinary thoughts. You feel it in the quiet awareness that something is shifting, even if you cannot yet explain it. That awareness is not accidental. That is my voice reaching your spirit beyond your understanding. And when that awareness comes, it is not meant to be delayed. It is meant to be followed. Type "You are my true guide," Lord, if His hand directs every step you take. This is a defining moment because it requires a decision from you. Not a spoken decision, but an inward one. A decision to trust me without needing everything explained. A decision to move forward without waiting for every answer. A decision to open yourself to what I am doing instead of holding on to what has already passed. You cannot stand between your past and your future in this moment. You must choose where you will stand. And I am calling you forward. Do not let fear speak louder than my voice. Do not let past disappointment convince you that this will be the same. Do not let hesitation become your response again. You have already lived through seasons of waiting, seasons of confusion, seasons of silence. This is not that season anymore. This is a moment of movement, and movement requires action from your spirit, not hesitation from your mind. You may not feel fully ready, but readiness is not what determines this moment. Alignment does. And you are aligned right now. That is why you are hearing this. That is why you have been brought to this exact point. I do not call those who are not ready. I call those who have been prepared, even if they do not recognize their preparation yet. Everything you have gone through has brought you here, to this point where the next step is not waiting but responding. This is why you must not ignore this call. It is not just another message. It is not just another moment to listen and move on. It is a moment that asks something from you. It asks your attention, your trust, your willingness to receive what I am placing before you. If you treat it casually, you will not recognize its importance. If you treat it like something that can wait, you will begin to lose the clarity that is being given to you now. Time is not your enemy in this moment, but delays. Time has brought you here, but delay can keep you from stepping into what is already prepared. You do not need to rush in fear, but you must respond in faith. There is a difference. Fear rushes without trust. Faith moves without hesitation. I am not asking you to panic. I am asking you to respond with confidence that what I am doing is already set in place for you. You have stood at many moments in your life where you wished something would change. You have prayed for movement. You have asked for answers. You had hoped for a shift. And now that the shift is here, I am asking you not to step back from it. This is not the time to question whether it is real. This is the time to recognize that what you have been asking for has reached you. So hear me clearly, my child, this is your moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not later when everything feels easier, but now. This is the call you cannot ignore, because it is tied to what is already being released. You are not waiting for it anymore. You are standing in front of it. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Do not step back. Move with me. My child, the reason I am moving without warning is because what I am about to do cannot be exposed too early, cannot be announced in advance, and cannot be delayed by the voices, forces, or patterns that tried to stand against you before. You have spent so much time in seasons where everything felt visible, where every step seemed to be watched, where every attempt was met with resistance, and where every delay gave room for doubt, interference, and confusion to grow. But this time is not like the times before. This time I am moving in a way that does not give opposition the chance to prepare, does not give fear the chance to rise first, and does not give delay the opportunity to take control again. I am moving without warning because what I release now must arrive untouched, uninterrupted, and fully aligned with what I have already decided for your life. You are used to expecting signs before movement. You are used to looking for confirmation before change. You have learned to watch carefully, to analyze deeply, to try to understand what is happening before it happens so you can prepare yourself emotionally. But my ways do not always follow that pattern. There are moments when I allow you to see the process, and there are moments when I keep the process hidden until the result appears suddenly. This is one of those moments. I am not revealing every step before it happens because if I did, too many things would try to respond to it. Too many distractions would try to interrupt it, and too many doubts would try to weaken your expectation before it arrives. So I move quietly, and then I reveal openly. Surprise prevents interference. This is something you must understand deeply. When something is announced too early, it attracts attention before it is ready. It invites opinions, resistance, doubt, and sometimes even opposition that tries to slow it down or redirect it. But when I move without warning, I remove that opportunity. What I am doing begins before anyone has time to react. It shifts before anything has time to block it. It forms before anything has time to question it. That is why what is coming into your life will not be delayed the way things were delayed before. It will not be stopped the way things were stopped before. It will not be questioned the way things were questioned before. Because by the time it becomes visible, it will already be established. There were seasons where you felt like everything you tried faced resistance, where even small steps seemed to meet obstacles, where progress felt slow because something always stood in the way. But those seasons were different from this one. Those seasons were part of your preparation, part of your strengthening, part of building something within you. But now, I am not building slowly in front of you. I am releasing what has already been built behind you. And because it is already complete, it does not need to move step by step in a way that can be interrupted. It will move all at once, and it will arrive in a way that leaves no space for anything to stop it. Divine timing does not announce itself. Your eyes, It does not ask for permission. It fulfills what was already decided. It does not wait for understanding. It brings understanding with it. You have been waiting for signs, waiting for clarity, waiting for something to tell you that the moment has arrived. But the truth is, the moment does not always come with warning. Sometimes the moment simply begins, and you realize afterward that you were already inside it. That is where you are now. You are not waiting for the moment to start. You are standing inside the beginning of it. This is why I did not explain everything to you before now. If I had shown you everything too early, your mind would have tried to understand it before your spirit was ready to receive it. You would have tried to control it, to plan it, to predict it. And in doing so, you might have stepped out of the simplicity of trust that this moment requires. So I allowed you to remain in not knowing, not because I wanted to confuse you, but because I wanted to protect the purity of what I am about to do. There are things I am bringing into your life that cannot be managed by overthinking. They cannot be received through hesitation. They cannot be understood fully before they arrive. They must be received as they are given, in the moment they are released. That is why I am moving without warning, because I am not asking you to prepare through analysis. I am asking you to be ready through trust. You may feel like this is happening too fast. You may feel like you are not fully prepared. But understand this: preparation has already taken place inside you, even if you do not recognize it. Everything you have been through has shaped you for this moment. The waiting taught you patience. The silence taught you awareness. The delay taught you endurance. The uncertainty taught you how to hold on even when you did not have clear answers. All of that was preparation. And now that preparation is complete, I am not going to slow down the release to match your comfort. I'm going to move according to my timing. And my timing is now. This is why you must not try to control what is coming. Do not try to slow it down. Do not try to question it too deeply. Do not try to understand every detail before you accept it. Because what I am doing is beyond what your mind can fully process in advance. It will make sense as it unfolds. It will become clear as it arrives. But it will not wait for you to feel ready. I am moving without warning because what is yours does not need permission to arrive. It does not need approval from people. It does not need confirmation from your past. It does not need validation from your doubts. It only needs my word. And my word has already been spoken. So when it begins, do not hesitate. Do not question whether it is real. Do not step back because it feels unexpected. Recognize it. Receive it. Because what comes without warning is often what has been prepared the longest. And what I have prepared for you is now ready to appear. My child, the waiting season is over, and I need you to let that truth settle deeply inside your heart because you have lived so long in that place of delay that it has started to feel normal to you. You learned how to wake up without expecting change. You learned how to move through your days without looking for signs. You trained your heart to stay guarded because hope began to feel risky after being stretched for so long. You became familiar with silence, familiar with unanswered questions, familiar with carrying expectation without visible movement. But that season has reached its end, and I am not speaking this as something that will happen far ahead. I am telling you that the season you have been living in is closing now, and you must allow yourself to come out of it fully. You do not realize how much that waiting has shaped you. It touched your thoughts, your emotions, your expectations, and even the way you respond to new moments. Waiting taught you patience, but it also taught you caution. It taught you endurance, but it also made you tired. It strengthened you, but it also made you question whether things would ever truly change. There were days when you kept going simply because you had no other choice. There were nights when you wondered if anything was actually moving behind what you could not see. And slowly, without even noticing it, you began to adjust your life around the delay instead of expecting the breakthrough. But hear me now with clarity and certainty. You are not in that place anymore. The delay has completed its purpose. The silence has finished its work. The waiting has reached its limit. You are stepping out of that season, whether your emotions have caught up to it yet or not. This is not something you have to earn again. This is not something you have to wait for longer. This is a shift that has already been decided, already been prepared, already been set into motion. I know part of you still feels like you are waiting. I know part of you is hesitant to believe that this is truly over because you have lived in it for so long. Your mind may still expect more delay. Your heart may still prepare for disappointment. You may still find yourself holding back from fully believing that something new is beginning. But that is only because you are carrying the habits of the old season into a moment that no longer belongs to it. What you feel is not your future, it is the echo of what you have already passed through. The waiting season is over, but you must also release it from within you. You cannot step fully into what I am bringing if you are still holding on to the mindset that nothing changes. You cannot receive what is moving toward you if you are still expecting delay to follow it. You cannot walk into new movement while your spirit is still standing in old stillness. This is the moment where you must allow yourself to shift, not just around you, but within you. I am not asking you to forget what you went through. I am asking you to recognize that it no longer defines where you are going. The waiting had a purpose. It prepared you. It strengthened you. It taught you things that you could not have learned in any other way. But preparation is not meant to be permanent. Once it is complete, it gives way to movement. And that is what is happening now. You have carried the weight of waiting long enough. You have carried the uncertainty, the questions, the repeated moments of not yet, the feeling of being close but not there, the experience of almost receiving and then having to step back again. That cycle is ending. You are not about to repeat that pattern. You are not about to go through the same kind of delay again. What is ahead of you is not another season of waiting, it is a season of receiving. This is why you feel something different now, even if you cannot fully explain it. There is a shift happening in your awareness. There is a quiet sense that something is changing. There is a feeling that you are standing at the edge of something new. That feeling is not imagination. That is the transition from waiting into movement. That is the moment where what has been prepared begins to show itself. You must allow yourself to release the emotional weight of the waiting. The frustration, the exhaustion, the disappointment, the questions, they serve their purpose, but they are not meant to follow you into what is coming next. If you carry them forward, they will try to shape how you receive what I am giving. They will make you hesitate when you should step forward. They will make you question when you should trust. They will make you hold back when you should open yourself fully. Let it go, my child. Let go of the belief that everything takes too long. Let go of the expectation that things will fall apart again. Let go of the fear that what comes will not stay. Let go of the idea that you are still in a season where nothing moves. Because you are not there anymore. You are standing at the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. and the beginning you are stepping into will not look like what you are leaving behind. This is where emotional release must happen. Not just physically, not just in your circumstances, but within your spirit. You must allow yourself to breathe again without the weight of waiting sitting on your chest. You must allow yourself to feel hope again without immediately guarding it. You must allow yourself to expect good things again without preparing for disappointment at the same time. You have been strong for a long time. You have endured more than you expected to endure. You have kept going when it would have been easier to stop. But strength in waiting is different from strength in receiving. Now you are stepping into a moment where your strength must shift from endurance to openness. You do not need to fight to hold on anymore. You do not need to push through silence anymore. You do not need to convince yourself to keep going through delay anymore. Now you need to receive. Now you need to recognize. Now you need to allow what I am doing to reach you without resistance from your past. The waiting season is over, and what comes after waiting is not more waiting, it is fulfillment. You may not see everything immediately, but you will begin to notice the change. You will begin to feel the difference. You will begin to recognize that things are not moving the way they used to. That is because you have crossed out of the place where things were being held back and into the place where things are being released. So do not go back to expecting delay. Do not return to the mindset that nothing changes. Do not speak to yourself as if you are still in that old season. You are not. You are here now. And here is different. Here is where movement begins. Here is where answers come. Here is where what was prepared starts to appear. And my child, you have waited long enough to stand in this moment. So now step into it fully. The waiting season is over. Say, I'm walking fully in my purpose if you're aligned with His perfect will. And share this video.